today's been quite the day. We had this morning I milked this morning, and I didn't have a lot on the go earlier today. I did have to run into town. This afternoon we vaccinated a bunch of heifers there, about it's probably 120 or 40, and tomorrow morning when we feed them I want to lock the dry cows and bred heifers up over here and vaccinate all of them, so that'll be another 100. But yeah, we had one calf born today. It's a nice little bull, a nice bull calf. Got quite a few in here that are pretty close, but I'm hoping they'll wait. It's supposed to be pretty cold yet tonight, and then it's supposed to start getting warmer tomorrow. Which tomorrow I'm looking over here, I think I got a heifer getting ready to start calving. That one right there. Yeah, she's got her tail up. I'll have to keep an eye on her this evening and see what happens here. Well, I was in the middle of videoing that, and here I got a cow that's just starting to freshen. She's her calf's coming backwards. I can tell by the way the feet are, so I might get her over here and pull it so I know that she's okay. She's been trying for a little bit the way that looks, and if I don't pull it now, I'll have to pull it an hour or two from now after supper, and that won't be real nice either. There's the calf we had born. It's a red lineback bull calf. There's his mom. She looks about identical to him. Yeah, well, I'm ever glad that I checked her. She ended up having twins. I got the one out and I was like, something don't seem right here. And I reached in, the second one was coming forward. Normally they come front feet forward and head first with front feet first. And the first one came out backwards with the back feet coming. And the second one was coming head first with both front feet turned back. So she'd have never had everything herself, but it's one of my youngest son's cows. She had a bull and a heifer, so they'll have to both go to auction. The heifers aren't any good when they're born a twin to a bull. They're called a free martin. So I went ahead and gave her a shot of dexamethasone. And I gave her a tube of cow gel. I need to get her left out here and let her get the licking them off. They both seem to be doing okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and tube feed them some colostrum. We have an esophagus feeder that it's kind of got a bag on it, and then it's got a little tube you stick down into their stomach. And yeah, I'm gonna tube feed them a little bit of colostrum here before I leave, and let her get them licked off good, and we'll check them here after a while, make sure they're still okay. Yeah, they're both sitting up already. They were born probably 15-20 minutes ago, but yeah, she's getting them licked off. I'll tube feed them the colostrum here, and then they'll got a good head start. So they're both pretty decent size. The bull calf I would guess is 80-85 pound. The heifer calf's probably 75 to 80. So sometimes twins are really a lot smaller, but they're a little smaller than some calves, but not too bad. So price calves are bringing at auction. We do what we can to keep them alive. new glass door. Yeah, it came today. We're gonna put it on our skid loader. Yeah, they have it in a box. They usually had it packaged in a bunch of styrofoam stuff around it, but man, they didn't have much around it this time. Yeah, they're pretty fragile. Yeah, there's this hinge part is still on the skid loader. I got to take that off and just push it up and take it off and get all the pieces over on it and the windshield washer and the latch, and then put it back on. On the hinge part, on the hinge side, there's a plate that's on the outside. It has 2 bolts at the top and 2 bolts at the bottom. And then, yeah, this piece goes on the inside. It has a rubber piece right here. It's sticky on the one side. It sticks to this metal plate. And then in these holes where the bolts go through, they have a little rubber, I don't know, it's not really a gasket, but it basically keeps the glass, holds everything in place where it needs to be, and keeps the glass from touching against any metal. Yeah, it's interesting how that works. It's got kind of like a, not sure what this is around the whole way around the edge, just black. It's kind of like a extra film, but it's tight to the glass. I don't know if you could scrape it off if you tried to or not. I'm not going to try to, but basically to help reinforce it, I think, give it extra stability. And then there's a rubber seal ring that goes the whole way around the outside. Your windshield wipers stick through these holes. I'll try to show some of that. And then over there on the other side is where the door latch goes on. Haven't done a lot of them, but we've done enough of them over the years. We've had Gale skid loaders for years and years. And you pretty much know the routine whenever one does break. It's been quite a while since we broke one. Well, we did break the one on our big skid loader, the 220 here, I don't know, within the last year. These smaller one. Well, this is a new one we just bought last fall. So it's the first thing ever been broke on this one. But the other smaller one that we got rid of, it was quite a while since we had changed any on that one. Yeah, well, I decided to try something different this time. Before we'd put everything together here on the bench or on the floor and then try to put it on the skid loader. But I decided to put the hinge on and then put the seal on, then go ahead and hang it on the skid loader and then put the rest of everything on it. I think that'll save me some time and won't have to, it'll be a lot easier instead of trying to hold the door up and balance the door and put everything on, it'll be just hanging there. I'm hoping that works. But this seal they must make for a couple different size doors probably. They probably just make all one seal and cut it off at a certain length, but it's usually about, on this skid loader, it's usually about 6 inches too long. So I got to cut that off. There's a little groove right here that, you got to really jam it on. I'm not sure what they have in there, but it's metal reinforced inside it. It stays on pretty good. Right here on these curves, sometimes eventually it'll start coming loose. You got to put some glue of some sort in there, some pretty, like an epoxy, the type you mix together and put it in there. It'll hold it on pretty good. But we've also learned that you want to keep the seam back here on the back. If you try to put it up the top or over on the side where you're getting in and out of the skid loader and bumping it off and on, it'll soon start peeling it off eventually. But so yeah, we've learned to keep the seam here along the back on the hinge side where you shouldn't ever really touch it when you're getting in and out. I raised the loader part of the skid loader clear up in the air so I have room to work here. It has a safety thing here that if any oil lines or anything, any hoses would blow or anything would happen, it wouldn't be able to come down. It's always kind of freaky crawling in and out of this thing if the bucket's up, but sad to say, once in a while you almost have to. And just here 2-3 months ago, there was a young guy here about an hour away from us. He was actually working on one at a repair shop and had the bucket up, and an oil line blew and it came down and on him and crushed him, and he died. I wouldn't have known him. I known some people that were related to him, but I think he was 32 with 4 young children. So it's really sad when something like that happens. So we try to be as safe as we can. There's a little shield here that goes over the latch, and there's 2 bolts that hold it on. And their bolts are Allen Allen head, like you need an Allen wrench to take them off. Well, the one must have been off before. Somebody did something to it and had it stripped out. So I took the side grinder and ground the groove straight across in it, and then I can use a flat screwdriver to screw it out. So yeah, works pretty slick to be able to do that if you ever have anything like that. But so anyway, yeah, we gotta take this latch apart. It's not real hard, just a couple bolts here. And then, yeah, the ones, you can see the broken, shattered glass there in between it. You got to mount it on the door. Nice about a new windows, it's all nice and clean and ain't stained up or don't need a bunch of cleaning. Yeah, over time they just, I mean, you can get them clean again if you clean them up, but it takes a little bit to do that. So almost $500. I think it's $480 some for that piece of glass and everything that came with the kit, the glass and the seal and the whole works there. So try not to do that too often. It takes a good hour to get it all back together. We've been talking about getting a new manure spreader or another manure spreader. We've had this one for close to 15 years, and the other day we were hauling some pen pack manure, and I noticed something didn't seem quite right about this one beater. And I realized the pipe that's in the flighting, and the main pipe of the beater is all rusting out. Both of them are doing that and cracking. So yeah, I guess that sealed made our decision. We were talking here this morning, trying to figure out how many loads we might have hauled with this thing. I think there's a bunch of companies around here that will buy these. They're dealers for them, but they'll buy them and rent them out, and then they'll sell them at whatever they have left in them. I mean, I'm sure they're making good money on them, but like they'll deduct the rent that they got off of them. So we found one that's 2 years old. They would have hauled about, I think he said 500 loads, and yeah, it's about 10,000 less than a new one. So we're gonna go look at it next week, but this in here needs cleaned up, but we'll take it down to sale and sell it. Somebody will probably buy it and fix it up. Other than that, it seems to be in good shape. For us to put new beaters on it, and the back end needs rebuild. As much as we use it, it wouldn't be worth that for us. We were talking this morning, and we were like, trying to figure out how many loads we might haul in a year, and yeah, we figured probably somewhere between 200 and 250 loads in a year. And that would be pen pack and barnyard manure. Everything else would go out as liquid manure. But so yeah, it's something that we definitely need, and this one here would have actually been a used one that was rented like that. I'm not exactly sure how many loads this one would have hauled. I don't remember if they told me or not, but I didn't look back when we bought it, but I'm guessing it's close to 15 years old. We would have had it for 12 or 13 years probably. So it hauled a lot of manure in its lifetime and almost never been in a shed. That would probably help too if we would keep it in a shed, but yeah, if we didn't use it real much, we'd probably clean it up in between hauling manure, but in the wintertime, we use it a couple times a week. In the summer, we don't use it quite as often, but we still use it a fair amount. So anyway, yeah, this spreader has been a tremendously good spreader. It's all poly lined on the floor and the sides, and Hagedorn or Hagedorn, or I'm not sure how you pronounce it. We always called it Hagedorn, but it might be spelled different than that. They have two different sizes. They're a Hydra ram. There's no net in the bottom. Then it has them vertical beaters on the back. So the next one we get, we might, I don't know, every now and then spray diesel fuel on those augers back there. See if we can help keep that from rusting. I think that or old crankcase oil would probably help that quite a bit. So, but yeah, manure is corrosive and acidic, so you can kind of expect that to happen. We did have a little issue with the tailgate, or the end gate. It does have an end gate in it. My son had welded that up. That was about a week or two ago before we realized this was going on with the beaters. And what we were hauling the other day was pen pack, solid manure with bedding in it. So we didn't really need the end gate. Get that end gate back in it and get it cleaned up and take it down to the same scale we're going to take our grain drill to. Yeah, I want to give you a little update on these twins. It's here in the morning. I forgot to do anything last evening, but here's the little heifer calf. She's doing good. The little bull calf. Here's one that was just born here a few minutes ago out of a first calf heifer. Yeah, I believe that one's not sure yet. I think that one's maybe a bull calf. It's just got up for its first time, I believe. Yep, that one's a bull calf. Here's the other twin right here. Yeah, that's the little heifer. That's the bull calf. The one over there is the heifer calf of the twins. And then this one was a bull calf that was just born here 15-20 minutes ago. He's up walking already. Yeah, the mom of the twins is right over here. Twins is hard on cows, or harder on cows. Yeah, we always take a little extra care with them, and sometimes they'll retain their afterbirth, but she finished cleaning during the night sometime, so I'm glad for that. So that will be a plus, but we'll give her a couple extra things here the next couple days and get her going good. And yeah, I just bedded the pen in here, so it's a little bit dusty, but it's every fall we have a little bit of trouble with starlings coming around, and we usually have a hawk that ends up moving into our freestall barn every fall, then soon after that, and we always have a couple pigeons in here. It seems like that's year round, and they nest in here and everything else. There might be 15 or 20 of them, but the starlings are the ones that I can't hardly handle. But anyhow, oh yeah, right there he comes. There you can see him. I guess it's the same one. I mean, different years it's probably a different one, but there you can see him right there on the edge of that trough up there. Let me see here, where is he at? You can see him a little bit sitting right there. There he goes. I'm sure there's different ones, different years, but there was one in here almost most of the winter, and about 2 weeks ago I noticed he wasn't in here anymore. I mean, the door stays open there at the end when we're milking, so they can go out and in if they want to. But then I noticed here a couple days ago there's getting to be a few more starlings, and I was like, man, we need our Mr. Hawk to come back again. And here I just seen him this afternoon. You can always tell when he's in here. The birds are about going bananas. There he is sitting on the rafter. Till tomorrow, most of the starlings will be gone. They flee out of here pretty quickly when a hawk's in here. There you can see, that's pretty much all the starlings that are in here. There might be 50 or 100 of them. They make a mess. They're like, I don't know, some people call them flying rats. They just make a mess on the cows and eat green out of the silage. So I'm glad when we have a hawk move in to get rid of them. Down there you can see the few pigeons that are in here. There's barely 20, 15 to 20 probably. There's a couple starlings mixed in there with them too. But I'll say this yet, once when we're done milking and all the doors are closed, we have netting on all the curtains and stuff, so there's no way they can get in and out of here unless the doors are open. And in the summer we don't have very little trouble with any birds in here. A couple pigeons, but yeah, once the winter comes around and the starlings fall comes around and the starlings start looking for places to go to survive the winter. So surprised we don't have more trouble over in our dry cow barn, because it's all open in the front, and yeah, there's wooden trusses in there, but we almost very rarely ever have any starlings in there. One thing's nice, by the hawk chasing them out of here, they kind of stay away from our farm, even the trenches. Every now and then, if it's going to snow, you'll see some starlings there at the corn silage trench, but as a general rule, yeah, we don't see very many starlings around here. The hoof trimmer's here today. We trim about every 2 to 3 months, probably 2.5 months on average. Yeah, we're doing about 60 today. Yeah, we're finishing up with the dry cows. Yeah, this is the last 3 there in the chute waiting their turn. But we try to trim most of our cows when they're right at the end of their lactation or while they're dry. And then, yeah, obviously we have some other issues during the lactation. And this winter it's been so cold so much we weren't able to run the foot bath as much as we like. So we have a few more issues than normal, but nothing real serious. But had to wrap a few more than we normally do. So yeah, this stand-up chute's pretty slick. They're getting ready to run another cow in, so I'll show you that here. Everything's automatic. As soon as that cow's in there, it starts going up and we're ready to roll. Yeah, well, this morning is Tuesday morning and Lois and I are milking again. And yeah, yesterday the hoof trimmer was here, and today we're going to look at a manure spreader. I had showed there on ours how ours is getting in bad shape. And one of the bulls came in this line. They don't come in every milking, but they do. Yeah, they do sometimes. And so anyhow, just a normal morning at this point.
Hey Carmen. Hey Carmen. She's gonna wake up. She's got the best life. She's got dog treats and then the bacon treats, and then she's sleeping on a whole bag of them. So the dogs laugh, so I guess they'll have to come back for their treats if they want more.
Right here's a slow cow. We always put smiley faces on the sides of the udders of our slow cows. And yeah, everybody knows to get the milkers on them as soon as you can. Once they come in the door, get them wiped off and prepped and get their milkers on first. We don't have a lot of them, maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 right now probably, or a little slower. There's one that's really bad. The other ones are, yeah, manageable. I always say it's too bad you can't get them all on the same line, but every now and then you'll get 2 or so in the same line, but not normally. These cows here are mostly all done, ready to go. There's one on here yet. I was saying about putting a smiley face on the cows that are slow. I guess we should put a frowny face on them. It's not really anything to be happy about, but anyway, that's just what we've always done. Earlier I said too about this morning just being a normal milking, and yeah, we like normal. When it's not normal is when either we got to catch cows for one reason or another, whether the hoof trimmer, whether the vet, or yeah, sometimes we have a couple cows to go to auction, which that's not real bad, and everything's going well. That's kind of what I meant by being a normal milking. It's, yeah, we haven't had any hiccups yet. Probably shouldn't talk. We still got maybe 40 or 50 cows to milk here. About a half an hour, we'll be done.